everyone, it's Leanne. Welcome to another video on my channel. Happy New Year. I thought I would start the new year by creating a top 5 of my favorite cards of 2018. I took some time to go through all the cards that I made. Most of my cards were made for other people, and I chose the favorites that I have, so I thought I would count down that list with you. I'm still a little bit under the weather, recovering from my cold, so I did make a tea. I'm hoping that it'll help me with my voice a little bit, but I thought we could count down the top 5 cards that I did that I'm really proud of and I thought turned out really nice and were fun to make. So I'll start with number 5. So number 5 was a really fun but simple card. I made this card, or I've used this stamp set a lot, and every card I've made has been completely different and turned out really unique and fun. I made this card for my niece, and it is the circle card I made using the Fairy Friends stamp set from Fawn. This card was really simple to construct, and this format could be used for any type of card or stamp set, especially if you have little multiple characters or critters you want to highlight. You could also do it with florals. It doesn't have to just be just exclusive to characters, and it's really fun. I really loved the bright colors in this card. I had a lot of fun matching the distress inks with the backgrounds, and I love distress inks. If you've seen any of my videos, I'm sure I've said that in almost every video. I love distress inks. They make such beautiful backgrounds, and the colors are so vibrant, and I had a lot of fun matching my Copic colors to those backgrounds, and I thought it was a nice, bright, fun card for my niece. Incidentally, it was also my most liked photo on my Instagram account in 2018 for the cards that I made. If you'd like to check that out as well, if you don't follow me already, I'm also on Instagram. You can find me over there, and I'll put a link in the description below. Now, my number 4 card is something that I created recently, and I created this card as a Christmas card or holiday card for a card exchange, and that would be my pink themed penguins card. So this was another Fawn stamp set, and I also did this with watercolor, and I just really like this card because it was unique in the holiday colors that I used. Typically, you would use red and green. That's kind of what you think of when you think of holiday. But this actually ended up being unique and different, and it still felt like a holiday card. I was really proud of how it turned out, and I was really proud to give this as an exchange card in my Christmas card exchange that I participated in. I used masking fluid with my watercolors, which is something I've only done once before. I don't use that very often, but I thought that the way it came out, it was exactly how I pictured it in my head, the effect that I wanted with the snow on the background. I just loved how this came out. I loved the colors. There wasn't anything overpowering as far as a spot color. Everything was kind of harmonious and looked really nice together. It was such a nice compliment, and I've just been really loving pink lately, blush pink, and it just has a nice warm feeling to it, and I just was really, really happy with how this card came out, and it was one of my favorites. So that was my pink theme Penguins watercolor card. My number 3 video was something very unique, and it was something that I haven't done anything like this, or haven't done anything like this since. It was totally this creative, off-the-wall card that I came up with. I seen washi paper in an art store near where I work, and I knew I had to create a card with it. It was so beautiful. And so I made this very fancy, fun card using washi paper for my sister for her birthday, and she really loved it too. It was a very personalized card for her. And so it was my number 3 favorite of 2018. And so that would be my washi paper digital stamp card. Now, I did get the digital stamp from Etsy, and so this is something I had never done before either. I usually typically use rubber stamps. If you watch my videos, you know that. But I thought it would be fun to find a unique stamp that just spoke to her and spoke to her character. So my sister loves shopping. That's no big secret in our family. So I found this really sweet stamp online in an Etsy shop that I was able to download, and I printed it on Nina Solar White cardstock, so I was able to do Copic coloring. And I love my Copic markers, and it was so fun to get to blend those with this beautiful paper that I found. This washi paper had beautiful gold tones running through it. It had nice glitter and sparkle to it as well. And so it was a really fun card to make. The thing that took me the most time in this card was cutting out my digital stamp. I could have just did a rough outline, but I really wanted this to have a close crop and be perfect for my sister. So I did take my time with my X-Acto knife, and I cut it out very meticulously, and I was really happy with how this came out, and I just love that paper. That background made this card, and so that was my number 3 favorite card of 2018. Now, my number 2 favorite card is another Lawn Fawn card that I made, and I actually have this card. I didn't make it for anybody. I just kind of found the stamp set, and I don't know how I missed this when it was first released. It's a year 7, I believe, stamp set from Lawn Fawn, and that is using the sweet little piñata, and I really, really love this card that I created with that stamp set. And so this would be my number 2 favorite card of 2018, and that would be my Lawn Fawn Piñata Celebration card. The tea, I think, is helping. So this card here was a lot of fun to create, and it was really simple. There wasn't a lot of elements to it. I did love that I got to use Distress Ink coloring with this card. I love this background, this blend. It almost reminds me of cotton candy. Nice, bright, yummy colors. And I love the texture that was added with the background too. I love the effect that that gave because it kind of echoed the sentiment of candy falling from the piñata, all the busy activity and things floating around. I did just using the Distress Inks that I used in the background. I used a saturated version with a watercolor brush and splattered those across the background in the matching colors. It was super simple to make, but I thought it had a nice effect. And then I did a little string at the top for my little piñata swinging down and all the candy coming. And I loved that I was able to add white embossing powder to this as well. I just like the crispness of white and black and the contrast and how sharp and clean those two colors look together. And so this was a very simple card, but I just love the colors. And of course, Copic coloring is always fun. It's always great when I get to do that on a card. And using the scallop borders edging as well, I haven't used that a lot, but it was kind of new when I had bought or made this card. I bought it recently when making this card, and I just thought it was really fun and came together nicely. This is my number 2 favorite card of 2018. So now we're getting down to number 1. We're on the last video. It was really hard to make this decision because all of these cards were very near and dear to me, and I had an emotional connection to all of them. They all had a special meaning. And so it was really hard to choose, but number 1 this year, or for last year, was my Konnichiwa card. And so this card was made using stamps from companies that I hadn't used before, and I had been admiring these stamps for a while. I went to purchase them once and they were sold out in the shop that I was looking at, and then I went back and I was finally able to get them, which I was happy about. So my Konnichiwa card was made with this stamp set from Avery Elle, and it is just called Konnichiwa. And I also got to use the Echo Park stencil as well, and I just thought that these paired really nicely together. I had never used products from either of these companies, but looking through all the different stencils, especially the Echo Park has, they're beautiful. They have such a beautiful selection, and so I picked this pattern. And then the Avery Elle, again, the Konnichiwa was just perfect. You may have noticed I had a lot of Japanese themed cards and related items this year. Or last year, I guess, now we're 2019. But it was because I had went to Japan to celebrate my birthday, and so I was doing a lot of research and getting ready for my trip. So I was really inspired by the whole culture and anything Japanese related. So when I made this card for my mom, I also used my maneki neko cat that I had got in Japan to match the gold color from this gold leaf cat to the background of the card that I made for my mom. And it turned out really nice. I was really, really thrilled with how beautiful the Fine Tech gold paint looked on that background with the Distress Inks. And I used my mom's favorite colors, and it just turned out beautiful. I loved it so much, and so that was my favorite card, and because it had that Japanese tie, I think that really made a difference as well. And so it was just my favorite card of 2018. I just loved it so much, and I gave it to my mom for her birthday, so I don't have it with me, but my mom treasures it, and I know she really enjoyed it. So these are my top 5 favorite cards that I made in 2018. Were any of these your favorites too, or did you have any that you really liked, or any stamp sets that you liked as well that you just got a lot of miles out of that you really enjoyed? I do want to give an honorable mention to a company that I discovered last year for the first, and I had not seen them before. I was kind of surfing around on Simon Says Stamp, and I found their stamps, and they're awesome. They're beautiful. So I picked up these stamps from Flora and Fauna, and I just love the style of their stamps. They look very hand-drawn and kind of rustic, and I made some really cute cards, I thought, with these stamps. They're just so beautiful, and every time I'm looking at their Instagram, I'm just always so excited by the cards that they're showing on their account with the stamps that they use to make those cards. These stamps are just the sweetest, and so I did make some unicorn cards. My niece loves unicorns, and so that was a big hit with her. And I am excited to get more Flora and Fauna this year because I am in love with their stamp sets. So if you haven't heard of them or haven't seen them, check them out for sure because they're just awesome. They're my favorites as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I am excited for 2019 for some new card videos and some new items and art supplies coming up, art supply hauls. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and so you can be notified when the next video is posted. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy new year. Thank you so much for watching.